101. It is shaping up to be a nasty flu season. Got my flu shot right here on TV, but the Centers for Disease Control says the strongest concentration so far in the southeast, from Louisiana to South Carolina. Our region hasn't gotten walloped yet, but some medical professionals say a combination of factors could make more of us susceptible to the flu. Joining us, of course, as she always does on Mondays, Dr. Shilpi Talks, and we're going to start with the flu. And why is it so bad this year?
Yeah, so unfortunately, Allison, this year we look to Australia and the Southern Hemisphere because they have their season before us.
Okay.
And what we're seeing there is that the flu has been very severe. Cases are being spread all over. And unfortunately, we found that the vaccine that was formulated for this season of the flu really isn't that good. It's not a great match.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you shouldn't get the flu vaccine because it still provides some protection for you and for those around you, right? The elderly people who are going to really succumb to the flu, and the very young people. So we still should be getting the vaccine. However, unfortunately, we do think we need to brace ourselves for a very severe flu season because the flu vaccine is not that effective potentially this year, and the season in general is going to be bad.
But we should still get it?
You should still get it. And as I was saying, it's because of one of those things called herd immunity, so that protects others around you and you yourself. And the other thing is, it is somewhat effective. You never know what strain you may come down with. So if it is the one that hits you and it was giving you protection through the vaccine, you've still made yourself better off because the duration is shorter and the severity of your symptoms will also be shorter.
Okay, and just quickly, the difference between a cold and a flu, like how do you know you have the flu and what can you do once you get it?
Right, so when you have the flu, you're laid up in bed, very high fevers, your body aches, and you just really can't get out of bed.
Right. Okay.
If that's the case for you, call your doctor because sometimes they can send in a medication for you to help to also shorten those symptoms. A cold, you'll still be able to function. You may feel runny and run down and kind of crummy, but you're not going to have that generalized body aching and just feel that hit by a truck. That's the flu symptoms. But get the vaccine. It's going to be bad potentially.
Alrighty. So you have a table full of toys.
Yes.
And we're talking about good toys and bad toys.
Yes.
It is the season of giving.
It is, yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
we're helping Santa this morning.
So we're all looking for those stocking stuffers, and the kids love the toys. This is the time where they're looking for that.
Sure.
But when we sometimes hit the dollar bins and to get the small knickknacks, there can be some dangers of the toys that are out there. And there's really three things that we kind of want to look for. Mainly, if you open a package and there's a strong odor or fragrance, sometimes those toys are treated with chemicals. And you see that a lot of times in those dollar bins. Number two is if you see peeling or chipping paint color, because that can also be a sign of bad quality paint that may have lead or BPA in it. And then number three, small parts. So you want to be very careful. I don't know if you remember this game, Allison, but this game, it stood the test of time. It used to have a magnet in it. Now they made it a little bit safer, but these pieces actually come off, so it's small parts, and you want to be very careful with that. The other thing is these gummy type of toys, you're going to find those can also be made of a lot of chemicals and toxins. I would steer clear of those. Then if you have like older toys, the plastics, pieces can come off, and that's also very dangerous. So you're better off sticking to toys that either are the wooden toys that oftentimes are manufactured here that don't have any of the peeling paint, the puzzles that are made of just regular paper, cardboard, and then markers and the smaller cars and things like that. Just make sure you inspect them very well. The markers should say non-toxic. These are all things that you'll find together, but really inspect those toys. Make sure that if there's potentially small parts, anything can kind of come loose, liquid, material like this, if it broke, that's dangerous for kids. So you want to really avoid those. Yeah, exactly.
And also the age appropriate, that was always such a great guide when my kids were young.